Hi everyone and welcome back. It's 2023, a brand new year, and today we have a very uplifting video for you. It's going to be all about home decor tips of things I do in my house to transition my house from the Christmas period through to spring. I know it's not spring yet, but I need all these little boosts in my house to make me feel a bit more uplifted, and I'm going to share all my secrets with you. So I'm ashamed to say, even though it's the 10th of January, I still have 2 trees left up. It honestly takes so much time that I don't have to take all of these ornaments off. But this is such a great moment to do this. So thank you guys for forcing me to do this today. Otherwise they'd probably be up for another month. So what we're gonna do is take all the ornaments off. All of these are really sort of precious to me. We've had these for years. So when you are taking your tree down, make sure that you wrap each ornament individually. And I'll also show you how we store those. We store them in individual boxes. There's a box for each room. I think we have 6 up to 6 trees. We didn't put the full 6 up this year because we were in Palm Beach for Christmas, but we did have 4 trees. So by labeling them and putting them in separate boxes, it makes it much easier next year. You know which room to take which box into, and it just makes it a lot more sort of seamless. So we're going to do that first, and once that's out of the way, we're going to have a little look at the room and see what we need to add in so it doesn't feel too cold and empty. One of my intentions this year was to look after my houseplants better. So when Planter got in touch with regards to sponsoring one of our videos, I thought this was the perfect video to do with them because it's all about bringing the outside in, looking after your plants. So using this fiddle fig, I'm going to show you how the app works, what makes it so special, and let's see if we can find out why my plant is not thriving. So thank you to Planter for sponsoring today's video, and let's have a closer look at the app. I downloaded Planter Premium because it's got some incredible special features. For example, intelligent care schedule. The app notifies you when it's time to water, fertilize, mist, clean, yes it's a thing, and repot. It also has Dr. Planter. It can tell you why your plant's maybe not feeling good and figure out what's wrong and set up a treatment plan. It can help identify plants. It has a light meter, can tell you what the light conditions are like in your house and what particular plants are suited to those conditions. It can recommend plants for your home based on the conditions that you have, and also recommend plants based on your abilities. My favourite thing about the Planter app is being a renowned plant killer. I feel like there's actually some hope for me keeping these plants alive, and I do get quite sentimentally attached to my plants and my trees. So now that I've used the diagnostic feature on this app, I know exactly what I've been doing wrong. I was definitely overwatering it. As you can see, it's really dark here in this corner. It's quite far from the window. So I'm going to move this plant, stop giving it so much water, and I can't wait to see it get even healthier. And when you sign up with the special code in the description box below, you can get a free 14-day trial when you sign up for the 12-month plan. So make sure you check that out and help keep your plants alive. On the fireplace, I thought I was just going to do some plain eucalyptus, just keep it really fresh. I love the smell of eucalyptus. I'm going to put some of these in some of the smaller vases so you can appreciate them. If they were in the taller vases on the mantelpiece, they're too high up, you wouldn't really be able to see them. So on the smaller vases, you get to appreciate those a bit more. Got some thistles because my husband's Scottish and I love the blue colour. It works really well in the living room, so I'm going to poke a few of those. And obviously it is still winter, even though we want to invite spring in. So a little bit of winter is fine, we just don't want it to feel Christmassy. I got these white hydrangeas, and I love this time of year to have really light coloured white flowers. It just feels really crisp. It's timeless, but it's a nice change from Christmas where you go a bit sort of stronger on the colour. But I did also buy these amazing burgundy, I'll let them match my nails, burgundy hydrangeas, and these I'm going to put in our bedroom. It's going to go perfectly with the wallpaper that I've got, the Fromental wallpaper.
So what are you looking forward to most about this upcoming year, Sophie?
Oh, good question. Well, I'm turning 40 in October, and I think it's just really focused my mind on, I always think about it this time of year anyway, but it's really focused my mind on what's important to me this year, what do I want to be spending my time doing. I think it's so easy to kind of get sidetracked by what you think you should do, what other people are doing. And this year I just, like, as with pretty much every year, I just want to get good balance. So I'm really looking forward to certain things with work. Like, we're going to finish one of the Oman projects. I'm really looking forward to going out there and seeing that all come together. We are going to be launching another collection with Addison Russ. I'm really looking forward to that. We sold out of every single frame. The only one that's left is the moss green one. I think there's only a few of those. So that was a big success, really exciting. We have a second collection that's much bigger. It's going to be trays, boxes, some different photo frames, waste paper bins, clocks. It's going to be big. I'm really excited. What else am I excited about? Personally, I'm excited about holidays that I've got planned. I'm going to Paris in a couple of weeks with 2 of my sisters and a friend, which will be really fun. It's kind of a mixture of business and pleasure. So I'm going to go to Maison Objet whilst I'm out there, which is a big trade-only show for furniture and furnishings. And that'll be great. And one of my sisters that's coming is a florist, so she goes there as well. So we're going to go there on the Saturday. And she's going to be looking, she does a lot of faux flowers, so she's going to be looking at stuff for that. And then Brett and Anthony from my team will be out there as well, so I'll catch up with them.
Is it your first time in Paris?
No, I've been there a few times. I think I've probably been, well, I've been going for years. I think I first went maybe 15 years ago. But it's so worthwhile going, always see new suppliers. And actually for that video that's coming out that week, I'm going to film a lot behind the scenes while I'm in Paris, hopefully, if I remember. Because I really want to show you all what it's like there and what we do. And then after that video, having done my research, I'm going to do another updated trends video for 2023. Obviously we did one for 2022 and it was our most popular video we've ever done. I think it's had like 700,000 views. But I'm really excited to go to Paris. I didn't get a chance to go to Paris last year, and not only base it on what I think are the trends, but also just see what's the trends in the market, what are suppliers thinking is going to be popular. Because a lot of these trade shows, they're not just predicting the trends for this year, they have to predict the trends for, the next 5 years. So you really get a good insight into what the industry is sort of leaning towards. These are probably my most asked about items in the house, these chinoiserie vases that I've got on the mantelpiece. And honestly, they are probably one of the cheapest things I got in my house. I remember I was ill a few years ago, lying in bed. I think I had flu. And I just went on eBay every single day and ended up buying these vases. And I knew that I wanted them to sort of descend in height towards the center. So I was trying to Google to find matching pairs, and the outside ones are a matching pair, but then I couldn't get the next size down to be matching, so they're slightly different. But I think it still works really well. I actually quite like how it's a little bit more eclectic. But they were super cheap on eBay and everyone loves them. And what's great about them is that you don't need that many flowers to create a big impact on this mantelpiece. One bunch of flowers split between all these vases, especially if you add in some foliage, create something really dramatic. As well as bringing houseplants into my home, I also love bringing in flowers and foliage this time of year. It feels like a little indulgent treat, and I don't know about you, but I certainly need that in January. So this morning I popped to the florist, and I was planning on just doing a eucalyptus arrangement here, which is a really nice, more affordable way of bringing some greenery in. But when I saw these white hydrangeas, I couldn't resist them. I love white flowers this time of year. They just feel so fresh, and that's really the feeling that I want in my home. And then I've also combined them with some blue thistles. I always buy thistles for my home because my husband's Scottish, and so I like to just give a little hint of that. But also I love the blue, and the combination of the blue and white goes so well with the chinoiserie vases behind me. As well as doing an arrangement on the coffee table, and when you do your coffee table arrangement, try and keep it low, so that if you're having a social gathering, people can see over the flowers. I can't bear big arrangements that sort of block everyone's view, and that also goes for dining table arrangements as well. But I like it a little bit wild, so if I spin it around, you can see this angle, there's lots of eucalyptus coming out the sides, and it feels a little bit more natural. Something that's quite common in January when you've taken all your Christmas decorations down is that your house can feel quite cold and empty and unloved. And this corner definitely feels that way. This is where we had the big Christmas tree and it really filled the space nicely. But for the rest of the year, I have this little table. The table underneath I got from Amazon. It's super cheap, it's just a garden table. I'll show you what that looks like. You can see it's nothing special. But then I've covered that with a linen tablecloth that I had made with a little trim that we put around the bottom just for a bit of extra detail. But the styling here is all wrong, so I'm going to show you how I'll style this corner. First of all, we've replaced the dead hydrangeas with some real eucalyptus, which just feels nice and fresh, and it's nice to bring all the real flowers into the corners of the room as well as the centre. And then these photo frames, I'm just going to start from fresh. The lamp will stay, and that's in a good position at the back, but I find when I'm restyling it's much better just to take everything off and start again. So I'm going to start with a coffee table book as my base and build it up from there. So I've got a good coffee table book. This one's by Axel Vervoort. I love how it feels quite earthy and minimalist. I definitely crave less fussiness this time of the year. I like clear spaces. I'm saying I like clear spaces, I'm about to fill this with loads of stuff. So my idea of clear spaces and other people's idea of clear spaces are probably quite different. But put a book there, and I'm going to get one of my photo frames here. The photos that I have in my house, for me it's really important when you look at a photo that's in a frame that it makes you feel happy. It can't just be a picture where you feel like you look good, but there's no happy memory attached to it. If you actually pick photos where it was a joyful event, it will make you feel really happy when you look at them. So this is a picture of newborn baby Ava. Always feel happy when I look at this, so I'm not going to change that. But other photos, when they're quite sort of time specific, I find a lot of people can put photos in a photo frame and then leave them there for years and years and years. And that, I don't know if it's just me, but it makes me feel like that was like the golden era. You know, if you've only got your wedding pictures up and then you've got nothing from the past year, it makes you feel like those were the good times. So every year I like to update my photo frames, unless they're a particularly special memory like baby photos or wedding photos, of course I keep those, to more recent memories, and it just sort of enlivens me and motivates you to make new plans for the new year. So this photo frame is from our Addison Ross collection, which incidentally is now all sold out apart from this colour. This is the moss green. I say moss green, but if you come a bit closer, Ollie, this one I really shouldn't have called it moss green because it's not. It's more of like a celadon. It's almost like a taupe, and it works really well in any interior. But the photo, and you'll have to blur out the kids because I don't share the kids, but this photo is from our holiday that we went on over Christmas to Palm Beach, and it was just a really fun evening. We laughed all night, and I thought, you know what, I really want to have that memory in my house. So I just ordered this online, and it arrived this morning, so perfect timing. And with the Addison Ross photo frames, they'll print it and put it in the frame for you, so it's literally like no hassle. I move the things in my house around, and I think this is really important, and this is a good example of me doing that, because you don't have to go out and buy new stuff, but if you just move around your coffee table books, or in my case, I quite often will have a coffee table book open on a page, change the page up, and it just gives you like a new, I don't know, like it makes everything feel fresh, because I think you can become immune to your surroundings no matter how lovely they are or how much you love them. If they stay stale and static, you no longer see them. It's like your pieces of art. If you move them around, you'll suddenly appreciate them more. So with the coffee table book, I like to change up the pages and find something new that inspires me, or I'm going to go for this page because I love how minimalist it looks and how it's got the nice bright white colour, and it picks out the nice lighter colours of the candle, and you've got the green and the photo frame on the page, and then obviously with the eucalyptus. So I think that's looking quite nice.
So what are you up to now, Soph?
So now we're going to cleanse the room. Actually, I'm going to cleanse the whole house, but I'll just show you this room using some Palo Santo. It's been used throughout history to sort of get rid of bad energy and bring in good energy, and it just sort of cleanses your rooms. So you can see it's smoking. You might have to relight it if it stops smoking. But you put it into all the corners of the room, waft it around the entire room. And I've been doing this for years actually. You can do it with sage and cedarwood. And I don't know if it's psychological or placebo, but you really do feel like the energy in your house is cleansed and it's like a nice blank slate for the new year.
Would you consider yourself to be a spiritual person, Sophie?
I don't know. I'm not religious, although, you know, I'm not against religion. I just wasn't brought up with that. I definitely believe in like energy. I do believe in karma, and I think that's a good thing to believe in because it kind of makes you behave yourself.
Keeps you humble.
I don't really know what I believe in. I think you can become a bit religious when you're scared, like when I've gone through tough times in my life, or if I'm on a plane and I think it's about to crash, I definitely do say, please God, like I'll be really good, please don't let me crash. But I'm very open-minded. I think that's what I would say I am. Like, I'm interested in what different people believe in. I'm interested in trying different things. You know, my sisters are very spiritual, two of my sisters, and I like hearing about different people's perspectives. And because I'm open-minded, I feel like that's the joy of life, is like you can learn different things, and if it works for you, then brilliant, like why not? I think as long as it's not harming anyone else. December is all about treating yourself, decadence, eating whatever you want, you get lots of presents, and then January automatically feels like a time of sort of a depressing time. There's nothing really exciting or fun to do. So I'm a big believer in sort of switching that around. I think that if you can give yourself a little luxury in January, whether that's, you know, lighting one of your candles and sitting down with a cup of tea and actually allowing yourself to enjoy that moment, or curling up on the sofa with a nice blanket, you just need to give yourself those little treats. Doesn't need to be excessive, doesn't need to be food or drink related or going out shopping, just little small things, or having flowers, buying yourself some flowers. Things like that make a big difference. Obviously exercise and what you eat plays a big part in it too. But I thought I would just show you the difference that it makes if you do go out and buy like a nice throw to update your living room, the difference that can make. So this one is a much lighter colour, and I really want to bring in some lightness into the house this time of year. As you can see, it's only 3:30 and it feels like nighttime. So you can see why I'm trying to lighten up the space, because I really want to make it feel more spring-like. So you can see by adding a light throw, or if I was to add light cushions, it really lifts the sofa. This isn't a particularly dark sofa, it's just a taupe, but where there's no natural light coming in, it feels a lot darker. So by adding a big expanse of this cream from the boucle throw, it really lifts this corner and makes it feel a lot brighter. What else can you do to make yourself feel a little bit happier and boosted this January? So obviously we've decluttered, you need to get rid of all the Christmas stuff. I mean, that was hanging over me like you would not believe. I can't tell you how embarrassed I was about the fact that I hadn't taken it down. And I'd almost had those Christmas trees up for 2 months. In fact, I'd had them up for more than 2 months, because I put them up at the beginning of November, and today's the 10th of January. So it was definitely time to get rid of them. And already I feel like a weight's been lifted. Then you want to have a little bit of a declutter. I also had a spring clean. I didn't show you, but you've got to hoover all the corners, really get into like all the behind the curtains. I've lifted all the cushions off my sofas, hoovered underneath those, given everything a good plump. It feels really nice and clean. Then after I did that, I did the Palo Santo, so it smells amazing. I've lit some candles, I've brought in some greenery, I've got my plants, and it just completely transforms this room. I can't tell you the energy transformation from feeling a little bit unloved and a bit sad to now feeling sort of hopeful and spring-like. It's really good, and I genuinely believe that your surroundings really influence how you feel. So these little tips are definitely things that can help make your January as happy as possible. And before we end, I also want to share another tip that I do with you. Every January, I don't do New Year's resolutions. For me, New Year's resolutions have really negative connotation. You know, I think people traditionally use them to sort of punish or restrict themselves. You know, don't eat this, don't do that, go to the gym 5 times a week. Generally, like, you don't associate with them with things that you sort of feel like achievable and are going to make you feel good about yourself. I think if you set yourself up for failure and you make it too restrictive, then by the time you failed in week 2 of January, you're just feeling like a loser. So what I do is I set intentions. And I know that might sound like, oh, it's the same thing, different word. It's really not. So I create a list, and I've been doing this for about 10 years on my phone. I just go to lists on my iPhone, and I've saved all my previous year ones. And then I have my 2023 goals, and I'm looking at it now. I've got subsections. So I've got a paragraph for holidays, and it's just a bullet point list. In fact, I'll get Ollie to record this. I might take a few ones out that are a bit embarrassing, but I've got holidays that I want to do. So I want to take the kids skiing. I'd love to go to Cabo. I want to go to Paris. I'm going to go there in 2 weeks' time. And I want to do a health trip with my sisters. Then I have another subsection, home. So it's different things that I want to do in my house and my garden. Then I have personal, so that could be like health things you've been putting off, like maybe getting your moles checked, or even beauty treatments. Like I wanted to try M-Sculpt because I'm turning 40 and I want to get in the best shape possible. So I'm going to do Pilates twice a week and training 3 times a week, and I don't want to drink Diet Coke anymore. And then I've got a professional section, so that's really like work goals. So in here I've got that I want to get 3 new projects, I want to host a design day, I want to get a new office, as well as a few other things. But I think what's so good about this, and why it doesn't sort of, I don't use it as a stick to beat myself up with, is firstly, it's not all focused on like career or health. There's some fun things in there too. So you're thinking about, you know, what do you want to do for fun, as well as what do you want to do for work. And I think that approach kind of ensures that you're going to have like a good balance in your life. And really, the whole point of this is to sort of create an image of what you want your year to look like, what's important for you. And I refer back to this, that's why I think it's really good that it's on your phone. On a daily basis, I'll refer back and be like, what is there on this list that I can sort of work towards? You know, I know all these goals are really important for me. Is there anything that I can work towards? I might not make it happen, but I can get a little step closer today. And not everything is really hard to achieve. So it's not all like, must hit this many subscribers on YouTube. And that's out of my control to some extent. Some of them are like, I want to go for a massage once a month, and that's completely within my control, and that's fun and easy to do, but I still feel a sense of achievement by doing it. But also you don't have to, I tell myself, I don't have to achieve everything on this list. You know, if I scroll really quickly, that looks like a whole lot of things to do this year. But really,
it's not your Christmas list.
It's not my Christmas list. There was nothing on my Christmas list. But I just tell myself, I don't even put a number on it. I just tell myself, achieve what you can achieve. And it might change, and I'll add things. I've already added things on the list in the last couple of days that I've thought of that I hadn't thought of on the 1st of January. And I save all of these, so I've got them dating back 10 years. And I love saving them because, for example, the year that I had Ava, you know, we'd been wanting to have children for a long time, I think 4 years at that point. But every year I included that on my list, and it wasn't really something that I necessarily thought I was going to achieve. But I love the fact that the year I did have Ava, I had have a baby. If a girl, I had all my girl names. Of course, Ava was on there, and if it was a boy, I had my boy names. And then the year I had Oscar, it was also on my list. I really wanted to have a sibling for Ava, and Oscar was one of the boys' names. So it's really special to be able to look back and see what things that you really wanted to achieve that year did you make happen. I think that's quite empowering as well, is seeing that you're not just drifting through life, you're not living your life for other people, doing what you think might impress other people or what you feel you should do but you don't really want to do. You're living your life for yourself. And I think as I get older, that's what I really aim for, is that's true success, living your life for yourself and getting balance. So that's all for today. The light's going down. I'm feeling like I need a cup of tea, take these shoes off. But I really hope that this video has given you a few ideas of how you can sort of get your mindset into a positive way, make your home feel as cozy and uplifting as possible just by doing a few tweaks. I also want to say to all of you who have subscribed, thank you so much, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. I cannot believe we're finally here. We've got over 100,000 subscribers. It means so much to Ollie and I. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do, because next video that we're filming is in Paris. I'm going to the trade show, so I'm going to share all behind the scenes. And I'm also going to do a new 2023 trends for interiors, and you do not want to miss it. I've got some juicy stuff I'm going to share with you. So I'll see you very soon.